Thank you, Sam. Just going to give a short update on how our plans are shaping up for the chapel as we look ahead to the future. Those of you that have been past the building on Durham Road will see that it's starting to take shape nicely. And we shared a little bit around what the inside is starting to look like. And Stuart was there earlier this week looking at carpets and fixtures and fittings, and everything is coming together really nicely. And if you remember when we did our Vision Sunday back in January, we were starting to think around how we might start to use the building once it's open in the future. And we obviously want it to be a thriving church community that meets on a Sunday and other times. But we also want to consider carefully around how the building might be used during the week for other things. And people have fed into that, and we want to encourage you to still keep on doing so. One of the things I wanted to share this morning is just an example of what that could look like. And I paid a visit to our friends in Christchurch in Felon during February, just to look at what they were doing and how they were using their building. And I was just amazed at what they were doing, and just thought if we could replicate what they're doing, it would be such a fantastic thing to have in our building. And what they did was they took the warm space area that we talked about over the winter and just went one step further, and they created a welcome space, a place of welcome that's open every Wednesday for people within the community. Anybody can come, anybody facing hardship, or people who just want to have some time and to meet with other people. And what they've done is they set themselves up on a Wednesday. They have a worship service starting about 9:30, and then from 10 o'clock onwards, it's open to the public for people to come in. And they're getting around 50 people coming in every Wednesday. These are some of the pictures that were taken there, where you can see people are just sat around tables. It was half term where I went, so they had a kids' activity table on as well. They've got jigsaws going on, and people just able to sit and have a cuppa. They even put indoor bowls on at different times as well. And there's a real kind of community atmosphere in there. And I went within my work capacity as part of Citizens Advice, and I took a trainee advisor with me. And as soon as we got through the door, we had a queue of people waiting to see him. People who were having issues with their rent, or somebody was living in a council property that had mold, and he was talking to the council, and he just didn't have the skills that he needed to be able to engage with the council. And what happened was the advisor was able to sit with him and help him through and resolve his problem. And they're doing a real good work there in Felon, and that's also become a feeder to the church as well. So there was an African refugee lady who joined the community welcome space, and then was singing in their worship band on a Sunday after she came in through that. So I just wanted to share that as a real good example of what a community in a building can do when they come together. And that's very much what we would love to be doing as part of our building. They've also been applying for funding to help with running costs. So various organisations such as ASDA and some others have been actually funding it. We've got some funding applications out at the moment. And we're just waiting to hear back to see if we can get some funding for some of the fixtures and fittings or running costs as we look ahead to the future. And we're also looking at some point around having a paid post where we've got somebody who's paid in position to help run all of these community activities. So that's our vision, that's our hope for the future. We very much hope that that will come together, and we very much hope that people will buy into what we're doing. And that's just another picture there that they had a little food bank in one of the rooms next to where the community space is. And anybody who's facing food hardship were just able to get a food parcel, and they were able to send them on just to make sure that people were able to be fed during that week. So some real good stuff happening over there in Felon, and we hope really that's something that we can do at Chowdean, because even though people might consider that the Low Fell area is quite an affluent area, the Chowdean Harlow Green area is actually in the top 10 most deprived areas of Gateshead, and there's a lot of poverty in and around Gateshead that we can be there to serve the community. So I just thought I'd leave that with you as an example of what we could be doing in the future. The second thing that we talked about on Vision Sunday was about how we are pushing forward with our communications and our digital communications, and how Marianne was going to be stepping into the role, and she's actually started this week now. So those of you that are on social media, we are doing quite a lot of activity now around Instagram and Facebook. So we're going to be doing quite a lot in the run up to Easter, so really encourage you to be joining in and sharing the post that Chowdien put on. So, Sean, if that's going to work, we'll see if that works. Here's one that we put up earlier this week. Should be some sound. The sound's not working, but that's Tim actually speaking over an audio video there. So your homework for this week is to go onto Facebook or Instagram and have a look at that video and share it. And what we really want to do is to encourage people to share the posts, because if people share them, then that helps to get our message out there. And we really want to use our social media platform as a way to draw people into the church, to be able to encourage people, and to be able to use social media in a way in which we can spread the gospel and spread the good news of Jesus. So really encourage you to just start getting behind our social media work, which is going to be stepping up in the near future. Thank you very much.